Hello. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sarah McGuire. If you don't know me, I am from Sassy Paper Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make 3 cards using 1 sheet of designer series paper. We're going to be talking about designer series paper all week long on all of my social media channels. I'm going to be showing you the best ways to use it. Why? Because right now until June 30th, there is a designer series paper sale. You can save up to 15% off from some of the select papers in the annual catalog. And if you decide to shop, use this host code for the month of June. Every order gets you 4 free card tutorials, and orders over $50 get you this beautiful, I have it right here, boho ribbon, textured ribbon. Boho blue textured ribbon, that's what it's called. So you get this in July with orders over $50. So if you want to see how to make these cards, please keep watching. So before we get started actually making the cards, I want to show you the designer series paper we're going to be using today. We're only using 1 sheet of it. This is called Inked Botanicals, and it comes in 6x6. Normally I do cut my designer series paper down to 6x6. I have lots of templates to show you, but this is the Inked Botanicals designer series paper. I'll show you like this and then flip over. I thought about using that one. This paper is so pretty. I do not have the bundle that goes with this suite, but I did love the paper and it's on sale, so I just had to have it. There's beautiful floral images in here. I love the colors they used. It's very 70s to me. I love that look. I thought about using that one too. But the one we are using today is actually the first one I showed. This one here. We're going to be using both sides of it. And then I wanted to show you the templates. So I make these templates, and this is like a really old retired color. I don't even know what color that is. It's not, it might be Bumblebee. But I make these templates, and what I do is I just use my ruler, measure them out. Usually the one big thick line is my cut first line, and I'll explain more about that in a minute. But I have a ton of these because I do love a good 1-sheet wonder. And so all of these templates that I have so this one would make maybe 3 cards. It depends on how you piece them together. This is the one we're going to be using for today's card. And if you would like the PDF version of this template, go ahead and join the Sassy Papers VIP group on Facebook, as long as you're not an active Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can download this PDF. So this is what we're going to be using today. So we're going to do 1 cut, and then we're going to cut it again one more time, and we're going to get 4 pieces and make 3 cards out of those pieces. So let me get my paper trimmer, which I have piled everything on, because normally that's how I film my videos, is I pile everything over here onto my paper trimmer. I have all the elements of the card laying there. I need my paper. We'll move our inks for a moment, move all our elements, and I'll pull in my paper trimmer. So this is the piece we're using today. It is 6x6. Where did my, oh, here it is. I was like, where did the template go? So if you look at the template, the first cut line is at 3 inches, but we're going to want to turn our paper to get the design going that way. So 3 inches cuts this right in half, and then we're going to turn it and cut it at 2 inches. And then we're going to do the same thing for this one. So I'm turning it back right side up, cutting at 2 inches. And now you should have 4 pieces of cardstock, designer series paper. So I'll show you. You can put them right on the template, and I'm going to flip it so it's easier to see. And there are our 4 pieces. We're actually going to use this design those 3 times, and then that design. So those are our papers. Let me get the stuff to make our first card. We do need some scrap. That's my scrap. The first card is going to be in Lost Lagoon. All the card bases are the same size. They're all a standard card base size. If you want the complete measurements, I do have a PDF over in the Sassy Paper Crafts VIP group where you can get all of the measurements. So that is our card base. And then I have some petal pink. It's going to go like that behind our designer series paper. We're only doing a little bit of stamping for these cards because I really wanted the designer series paper to be the focus. And then I also have a piece of Very Vanilla that actually goes, it's our first layer there like that. So let's do our stamping. And the way I like to do this for One Sheet Wonders is I do all my stamping, all my die cutting for all 3 cards at the exact same time. So I have a scrap piece of Very Vanilla. I have a scrap piece of Basic White. I need one more bigger piece. Let's see if this will work. No, it's a little bit small. Of Very Vanilla. I have some here. It'll just be a little bit ridiculously big, but that's okay. So I'm actually using a stamp set that came out last year. This is the Charming Sentiments stamp set, and it coordinates with the Sentiment Silhouette die. So there is a die to cut out all of these wonderful sentiments. I have those all ready to go over here. And we're only using 2 ink colors. I'm using Calypso Coral and Lost Lagoon. I'm using Calypso Coral twice, yeah. So let's do our stamping. We'll go with Calypso Coral. I chose Wishing You Everything Wonderful, Thank You, and Hey There. So we're going to do the Wishing You Everything Wonderful and Hey There in the Calypso Coral. That one there. I'm just going to save that piece because I can do both of those on here. Hey There is going to go on the Basic White, and then put that away, and then we can do Lost Lagoon for our Thank You. And that came out a little smudgy. I think I moved as I did it. We'll go here. That's better. I don't know, that one came out a little smudgy. I think I moved as I stamped. So then I have the dies that coordinate. Oops, it goes this way. And then the Hey There. And our Thank You. And while I'm at it, I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine to emboss 3 pieces of cardstock, 2 Very Vanillas and 1 Basic White with this embossing folder. And that's how I get the backgrounds here. They're embossed. And actually I'm not going to do that one. There's a strip of Calypso Coral somewhere in my life, and I'm going to emboss that. So I'm doing 1 piece of Basic White, 1 piece of Very Vanilla, and 1 strip here of Calypso Coral. So I'm going to die cut, and I'm going to emboss my pieces, and then we can put our cards together. All right, all our pieces are cut and embossed. So now we're ready to put our cards together. Now for these cards, I went horizontal. I think I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to show you how you can do it vertically. So we're going to turn our card around so that way I know which way I'm working. We're going to go like that. This piece is going to go down. This is for the inside. I'm going to set that aside just for a second and make sure this layout will still work. These are going to overlap, but it still works. I like it. So let's grab our stamp and seal. I'm going to put the designer series paper down onto the matte layer first. And before I put these down, I think I'm going to add some ribbon to the underside of them. On our first card, I wrapped it around the whole thing, but I think since we're switching the layout, I want to switch the way the ribbon goes. Yeah. So I'm going to grab a piece of ribbon here. This is the burlap ribbon. It comes with the Real Red and burlap trim combo pack. I just thought it was a nice neutral color, and it went with all the cards, so that's why I picked this one. I'm going to grab my seal. And then we'll wrap our ribbon around like that. And I think because I changed the layout of this, I'm also not going to need a bow. Unless I want to slide these under. Do I want to just slide them under? You know what? I do. I'm going to slide them under. So skip that last part where you put your ribbon on first. Put these down first. Whoops. and then put your ribbon. And don't get them stuck to your grid paper. I'm just going to slide that one right there. And then slide this one underneath like that. And then I have a bow here all ready to go, but I wanted to show you how I made it. I'm going to grab actually a longer piece because for whatever reason I was making my bows for the other cards way too short. So I'm going to use a fork because I am kind of terrible at making bows. My fingers just, it doesn't work. I don't know why, but I'm going to wrap this around the fork and I'm going to kind of make a V shape. I'm going to take the top one, poke it through the center of my fork, and pull. Try to get my hands out of the way so you can see. And then this piece that's in the center here, I'm going to pull it up. And I'm pulling kind of tight. And then I'm just going to make a knot. And now this piece is way too long. But before I'm telling you, I was making them so short, I could hardly cut off the ends. And now you have a bow. And before I take that off, I am going to cut the ends. I am going to waste a little bit of ribbon, which I really hate to do, but I was making them so short, they were really hard to work with. I could probably use these pieces for another project though, so I'll just set them aside. And then we can pull our bow off of the fork. And then I like to grab a glue dot, a mini glue dot, and just stick it on the back of the bow. Stick it down there. And now to get that to lay down better, I like to take a take your pick tool. I'll grab another one of those mini glue dots and I put it behind the bow, and then our sentiment's going to go right there, so I'm going to put another one there. But you want to make sure you're, especially with thin ribbon like this, you want to make sure you're putting it someplace it's going to be hidden, because you can see that circle now through the ribbon. I think most people probably wouldn't notice it, but I notice it. So I have some mini Stampin' Dimensionals here. Just putting a couple on the back of our thank you. And then we're going to put that right over top of the bow. Then we can put our inside in, add a little bling, and card number 1 is done. And for bling, I have some of the iridescent pastel gems. These come in 3 colors. There's Calypso Coral there. I believe that's Balmy Blue and Petal Pink. It'll be on the screen because I can't remember all the colors all the time. I'm going to use this blue color though, because I think it goes really, it might be Lost, it actually might be Lost Lagoon. I don't know. What does the screen say? And put that one there. Yep, I like that. So that is our first card done. I'm just going to set that aside and we can make our second one. So normally when I do a one sheet wonder, like I said, I do all the processes at once. So I would put all my paper on at once, but I feel like that might get kind of confusing. So that's why I'm doing it this way, to show you each individual card first. So we're going to do this Calypso Coral one. I'm just taking some seal, putting it along that embossed panel. Now this is just as wide as the card base, so you want to make sure you line it up. And then we can put our designer series paper on our layer. And these panels are just a 1/4 inch wide, so I get a nice little border. I have to look at the sample card. Yes, I did use dimensionals. That's what I was looking for. I was like, did I use dimensionals? I did. So we're going to put 5 dimensionals on here, just to give that a little bit of a pop. And I didn't use any ribbon at all on this one. The sentiment I felt like was big enough. And like I said, I really want the designer series paper to stand out on these cards. Oh, I missed one. So I'm just going to center that right in the center of the card. And then we'll grab another dimensional or 2 for our words. And these cards really do come together fast. And I love one sheet wonders, especially if you need all of like the same type of sentiment. It makes it really easy because you can just put them all together. So I'm going to burnish that with a bone folder so it sits down straight. We'll put our inside in. This is very vanilla again. Run some seal on that. Then we can add our bling. We're going to go with the Calypso Coral ones this time. And again, just kind of randomly throwing them about like that. And that is card 2. So now for our last card, we have Petal Pink. And I'm going to burnish this one first, just so it's not all up in my way. And then before we put down our layers, I want to put this one down first because I want to wrap some ribbon around this. And grab my seal again. And this is crushed curry that I'm layering on. And I have a piece of ribbon here. I put some seal on the back of it. I'm going to start at this end, and I'm just going to wrap it around the front, trying to get it as straight as I can, and then we can put it on our emboss panel. I adhesive all over my fingers now. Oh wait, I was going the other way. Well, I got one going a different way. Well, we can still go the other way with this card. I can just turn it. No, because I don't like that. The design's the wrong way. Just kidding. We're going to do exactly the same except for one. And is the design the wrong way on that one? No, it's not. The design is the right way up on this one. I just changed one. That's okay. You know, I sometimes get too many ideas in my head and try to do them all. It's all right. So I have my bow here that I already made. I'm just going to take a glue dot, stick that down, grab the take your pick tool, stick that down, and we can put this on our card. And you can definitely decorate the insides of the cards. I didn't for this video just because it was long enough making 3 cards, but if you used a second sheet of designer series paper, you could just take a little strip and decorate the bottom of the card. Or if you're using maybe a floral stamp set, you could decorate the inside that way. I just left these ones blank. I was kind of going for simple and quick. So now I'm going to grab the mini dimensionals again for our hey there. And you kind of got to be careful with this one because it is very small. And the mini dimensionals just fit on it. If you don't have mini dimensionals, you can always use regular Stampin' Dimensionals. Pop that one right there. And then we're going to grab our bling again, which it doesn't look like I added a bling to that card. So we're going to put some bling on that card too. And I'm going to go with these lighter ones, which I do believe are either Petal Pink or so. Oh, and I grabbed like 5 of them, which is fine because I'm putting them on 2 cards, so they're like all stuck together. I don't know what happened. That's very strange. It's never happened to me before. Do that. That one. That there, and then we need one more over here. We'll go there with that one. And so that is our one sheet wonder card. So now we have 6 cards and 2 of them are different. Let's grab all the cards here. But if you're careful about how you cut your designer series paper, you can make them go a different way. So instead of turning it to cut it 3, if you wanted this to go vertical, you would just keep it upright and cut it 3 inches. So I hope that made sense. If you have any questions about one sheet wonders, about the cards I made today, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love to answer the questions for you. Go ahead and join the Sassy Paper Crafters VIP group if you are not an active demonstrator to get the PDF tutorial for all of these cards and the template I used. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it inspired you to get crafty. Have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoy talking about the designer series paper all week long. The link to shop and get it on the sale is in the description of this video. Have a great week, everyone, and I will see you all next time.